You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
I tried to jump in on that.
20 seconds waiting to say that.
Welcome to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave and Ian play old games. It's where three old guys palaver for long days and pleasant nights over shitty video games for the most part, but sometimes good ones. And
Those days are
few and far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world has moved on.
May we have twice as many. There you go. There you go. So, this week, kind of continuing on our movie as games in the versus category, Alien versus Predator for the Super Nintendo. Predator.
Predator.
Aliens vs Predator. But before we get to that movie and that game, what you guys been up to, man? Mans?
I haven't really watched much. I'm episode to episode on the For All Mankind show. I haven't gotten back in the mood to watch anime this week. So I fell back to, I'm trying again to watch The Handmaid's Tale. We got about most of the way through the third season of that show, Tanya and I did, before she noped out, which surprises me that she didn't nope out sooner.
Because
it's upsetting.
Yeah, okay.
It's a really upsetting show.
Ian makes her wear the bonnet. So.
I haven't seen any of it. Nikki's watched. I don't know if she's watched all of it. But I know she watched a whole bunch.
We've seen like 3 or 4 seasons of it.
It has the potential to be either inspiring or really deflating. It's especially depending on
Who's president.
There's some really relevant things in there that weren't even necessarily top of mind when the show was on the air, or not on. I mean, when it was new. Mm-hmm. I think it's over. I think it ran like 4 seasons, and I think it stopped.
Okay,
but I don't know. I can't confirm, but it's irrelevant. I don't know why. I felt I have a problem with unfinished business, and so I got to the point where I was thinking, I want to finish this. I want to see how it ends.
You don't like show ghosts,
huh?
You don't like
show ghosts? No, I don't like show ghosts. It bothers me when I can't finish a show. I will watch an entire show that I know I hate halfway through, just because I can't not finish it. It's a weird.
No, I get it.
It's a weird thing I do.
Are you current on Walking Dead?
Oh no, that one didn't bother me to walk away from. Okay. I did walk away from Walking Dead with like 2, 3, 4 seasons left, I guess. What I haven't seen.
That's pretty far in there that you hung in.
We got a long way in, and I got to the point of hating that show so much that I just was like, this is one that it will still eat at me that I haven't ever finished it, but I'm not. It doesn't bother me because I remember where it was at when I was watching it, and I remember how much I started to hate it, and I don't want to feel that way again. So we stopped watching Handmaid's Tale because it was not a pleasant experience for Tanya. I think it just hit. Obviously, in a way for her that it wouldn't hit for me because I'm not a woman and she is, and that's why it's tough for her. So I didn't want to push that on her, but I did want to finish the show. So eventually, I got around to it, and here we are. So that's all I've been watching this week. But I did have a story. So for all you listeners who are just tuning in after several years, this episode is near Christmas 2023.
Yeah.
And it is that time of year for office Christmas parties. Mm-hmm. And mine was last night. And so every year they'll do we get together with, and it's always a nice party. They have they'll rent a room, like a conference, or not conference room, like a event center room, or sometimes it's at the country club, in the big dining room in the country club or something, but they'll have the thing catered with a meal, and an open bar. Usually they do it on a weeknight though, so it kind of sucks because you can't really. I don't personally drink anymore, but I will like to have a beer or two at things like this. But a lot of people just want to come, cut loose, party, have fun, but they don't, because we all got to get up and go to work the next morning. I thought
it's cheaper that way.
Well, and I thought it was by design in that way, but it turns out it's just the fact that it's already super expensive to host a Christmas party for our whole company. Add to the fact that it's a weekend night, and the cost for the room and the catering and all that goes way up. And
honestly, man, I would rather go to a work party on a work day than
I
a
agree.
weekend, because it would. For me, it's like, I don't know, man. Weekends are like, if I don't have to think about work.
I totally agree with that. I do. I've never had a problem with it being on a weekday. There have been times I was like, well, I wish I could stay later, or, if we're really grooving and having a good time with my friends at work, and I don't want to have to cut it loose, or don't want to have to stop drinking or whatever.
Yeah.
Most of those things don't really apply anymore. Not that I don't enjoy my coworkers. It's just...
Enjoy your coworkers.
I enjoy my coworkers at work. We have a pretty laid back work environment, so I can just kind of hang out with them and visit and shoot the shit, and we get all that done most of the time throughout the course of a normal work day.
Right.
So we come to dinner, and there's not just a whole lot left. It's like, hey, saw you an hour ago, didn't I? You know, kind of thing. But then the owner of the company, Tim, he'll get up and he'll give a little speech. Nothing. He's not long-winded, thankfully, and he'll talk about things like Employee of the Year nominations and how good we're doing and everything else. And the subject of Employee of the Year came up earlier in the day. As a matter of fact, I was talking to John and a friend of ours, Jillian. Excuse me. And Jillian was like, "So who do you think is going to be Employee of the Year?" And every year it's some goddamn. It's usually upsetting. Like one year there was this guy that got Employee of the Year, and he hadn't even been there a full year yet.
Employee of the 6 months.
Because he was an ass kisser, an old school ass kisser, and he ended up thankfully leaving the company.
Well, got my Employee of the Year award. See you later, suckers.
He was good at his job. He was just kind of a shithead. I didn't like him, but anyway, it was always a kind of a running joke. It's like, who's going to get it this year? I got it.
Nice.
Last night, I got Employee of the Year.
Congratulations.
So thank you.
What'd you get?
Well, first of all, I was like, after they said, who do you think it's going to be? I said, well, I know who it's not going to be. Because every year I make the joke that it's never me. And I've been there almost 13 years. And I mean, I'm not like the...
You're Leonardo DiCaprio. Like they
they
miss you in your prime years. They're just going to get you eventually.
Exactly. I'm not the smartest guy there. And I won't call myself even the hardest working person. But I do like my job, and I like helping my coworkers and helping the customers. And I generally get good feedback. So I kind of thought, just as a token old guy thing, they would at least give it to me a Hank Hill once in a while. You just give it to me once. And it's always just been kind of a running joke that I never get it. Kind of like Sally
Sounds
Field.
like a great joke.
No, but I make the joke.
Okay.
I make the joke. So yeah. Anyway, he gets up and he says, Tim gets up in front of the employees in front of the company, and he says, okay, and so for this year's Employee of the Year, I'm going to defer to Josh, who's Josh, from Ping Pong.
Yeah,
Josh.
not Josh of TADPOG Sweethearts fame.
No, a different Josh, but one of two that you know.
Yeah.
But this one is. This
you
one is
underestimate
sort of
how many Joshes I know.
Josh
that
is
you
a
know
Mets,
that we know in common. One of three Joshes that we know in common. He says, I'm going to defer that, and he goes. And this year's Employee of the Year is someone who I've probably can say I've had the longest working relationship with out of anyone. that has ever worked here. And I was like, no.
It's gonna be me.
And then they introduced Josh, and Josh said, you know, he went through the spiel. How I used to work there when I was a kid. I worked there when I was 15 and 16 years old. I worked for what was then known as Computerland as an after-school job, cleaning the office and taking out the trash and, you know, running, going deliveries and pickups and things when I got my driver's license. And it was my first real job. And they made the comment, you know, about how they started talking about this guy started here sweeping the floors when he was a kid. And I turned to John, who was sitting right next to me, Captain Gunman, and I was like, oh no. They're talking about me. So then they gave me the award.
And John said, no, they're not.
No, he said, no, they're not. They're talking about me.
They said your name, John stands up.
So anyway,
Close
I got
enough. Come on up, John.
They gave me the award, and I got. So usually the award is, you know, you get a little certificate or whatever, and then you get it $500.
Hey,
All right,
that's
there we
all
go.
right.
Which
Yeah.
is cool.
That is.
So we have this system at work that they use to kind of reward us for performance. That is sort of like a points system, but it's called Crewhoo, and it's this thing you get points for like positive reviews. You can give awards to other employees for helping you out. So, you know,
Yeah.
but those points can then be redeemed for like gift cards and stuff. And so I was kind of shaking hands with everybody. And when I left for the evening, I spoke with Josh again, and he's like, hey, I was going to bring you a check tonight for the money, but since we have a new parent company. Our company was acquired by a larger company recently, like a couple years ago. And they're now doing all our payroll and everything else. And so the girl that does the payroll for us, when she was fully in charge of that, she could do things that we can't now do.
Sure.
So they can't just give me cash, and they can't just cut me a check from. I got to cut that out now. Tim's personal account.
Here, I'll put the time.
Yeah, it's 12:39.
Just put
They can't do any of that kind of stuff anymore. Like when I bought my truck, I got it set to where they would automatically take money out of my check every time I got paid to pay towards the truck automatically. But they can't do that kind of thing anymore because now it's being handled at a corporate level or whatever. So he's like, so I didn't bring you a check because I wanted to give you a choice. He said, you can either have the check, but we have to tax it.
Or an elephant.
Or
I want my elephant.
actually a Harrier jet. So, or we can give you the monetary equivalent of points that you can just then tax free that you can then use to buy gift cards for whatever you want. And they can add gift cards for fucking everything. And so I put that to the test. And I know my wife's not going to listen to this. And if she does, it's her own fault for not letting me know she listens to the show. So I've been looking at buying her a necklace from Tiffany and Company in New York. Because when we went to New York together a couple of years ago, we went to Tiffany, and everything in there is extremely expensive. Yeah. It's not like K Jewelers. It's fucking nuts, crazy expensive.
Yeah, even the breakfast.
Especially the breakfast. What about breakfast at Tiffany's?
I don't know.
Do you
Mickey Rooney being awful. That's all I know about that movie.
You're supposed to say, I think I remember that film, and then I'm supposed to say, and if I recall, I think we both kind of liked it.
Who's fucking saying that?
I feel like they're not around anymore.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, you know,
Probably a
like
good guess.
the ones that sang the Friends theme. I don't think
So that's the Rembrandts.
That one I know.
are still around. But anyway, so I put it to the test, and I was like, he gave me the points today. I said, give me the points because I don't want to pay the taxes.
Right. Sure.
Deep Blue something.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
I actually
Nope.
knew that. I actually
I did not. That's weird. I've probably heard that song.
And I said, what? Okay, so I put it to the test today. I said, I need $400 in Tiffany and Company gift cards.
Bucks.
Tiffany bucks. And he said, okay, I will see what I can do. So he goes and he checks, and he's like, I can get Tiffany and Company gift cards.
Wow.
And add them to the store. I said, okay, I want 4 $100 gift cards. Because it was either going to be, the increments went 100 and 250, but I didn't want all 500 of my money.
Right.
You got games to buy.
So
Yeah.
I had got a couple things I want.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're way, way kinder than me because I would have been like, new Steam Deck. That Steam Deck.
I thought about it, but it's Christmas, and I'm
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
That is
saying,
what
you're
I'm
better
getting for
than me.
Christmas. I've already discussed with my mother. That's what I'm getting for Christmas.
Nice. That's
nice.
awesome.
Oh, dude, I'm envious. The OLED looks cool.
Yeah.
And that's not off the table yet because I was gonna buy her the necklace anyway. Now I just don't have to buy it with my money, so I'll just turn around and buy it.
There you go.
I'll buy it eventually. It's
How'd you
going.
get this,
That's
Ian?
happening.
Good boy dollars.
Good boy dollars. I earned some
Spent
good
all
boy.
my good boy dollars.
Some good boy
4/5 of my
bumps.
good boy dollars on you.
So he said, okay, I'll get those ordered for you. I'm like, because they can't do like an electronic code. It has to. They're just cards that they send in the mail. So I was like, okay, when will they be here? He says next week. I'm like, it's cutting it close, but
Yeah.
it'll be fine. It'll be fine. He's like, I'll overnight them. Okay. Yeah, he's like, you don't have to do that. He's like, I don't mind. I will overnight the cards. So I'm going to apparently get them tomorrow. And this is a week ago as of this airing of this.
Oh, I
recording.
see. I misunderstood.
As actual week ago, as
I'll
of
get
right
tomorrow
this
a week
minute
ago.
to the
Wait, what?
listener.
This took a twist.
All right.
So
So I made a necklace of macaroni. It's gonna be fine.
after he had already placed the order for the cards, I got to thinking, what if I can't use multiple gift cards on the website? Because Tiffany and Company is in New York City.
New York City.
And I don't think they have like stores in Nashville, or I think you got the one. And I'm like, fuck. This is a done deal. I cannot turn my back on these cards.
I
now.
want you to drive her
I'm
to New
committed.
York, walk in, and then give her 4 $100 gift cards. Tell her to go nuts.
Go nuts. And then go into debt for the massive amount of money I had to spend to get her to Fifth Avenue so she could go to Tiffany's. Anyway, so I go on Tiffany's website, and they have a little chat with us bubble, and I opened it. And I spoke with a lovely young lady named Noelle. I say her attitude because I couldn't see her face.
You
but
might
she was
know me
very-
from my Dairy Queen letter.
Oh, God, probably. She was super helpful. And I was like, hey, I got 4 $100 gift cards from Tiffany.
I'm not a scammer.
Right. How can I use them all to place the order? She's like, unfortunately, you can only use one gift card at a time when
Shit.
you order online. But I can do an order for you,
Like over the phone kind of deal.
even through the chat, maybe.
Oh,
So
cool.
she scammed you for 4
She's
gift
scamming
cards.
me for 4 gift cards. So I said, well, I don't have them yet, but, I'm getting them tomorrow, and I want to place the order ASAP so I can get it here before Christmas. And she said, come back to the chat tomorrow, ask to speak to me. I will personally handle it for you. Just let me know when you're ready. And I'm like, will this arrive before Christmas? She's like, we guarantee by next week it will be here.
That's
so
awesome.
fingers crossed, I'll update next week how the purchase goes. But
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So I decided to take the high ground and use my employee bonus money to buy a gift for my wife because she has always wanted something, a piece of fine jewelry from Tiffany and Company. So I'm going to try to make that happen.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That is very awesome.
That's all I got.
Dave, what about you?
Oh, bro, just been reading that Gunslinger.
Hell yes!
Hell yes!
Finished the Wastelands and
Hi, Dave.
I am on Wizard and Glass now. I'm probably about 20% through that.
Makes me all warm and fuzzy.
And so far, so good. I mean, I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm still enjoying it.
Is it what you thought it would be?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of knew. I didn't go in dry. It was actually a little not like I thought it was going to be because what I kind of expected. I'm not going to spoil anything about the Dark Tower series, but like the Wastelands ends on a cliffhanger. And
Yep.
from everything I heard about Wizard and Glass kind of being a departure, I assumed that cliffhanger was not going to be resolved in Wizard and Glass. And then
they get right to
and
it.
I was like, oh, good. I'm glad, because otherwise, no matter how good Wizard and Glass is, if I have to wait a 28-hour book to find the resolution to what just happened, I will be a little upset.
It's one of the most absolutely stressful cliffhangers that has ever been.
Well, I imagine
written.
if you're in 1991, absolutely, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's Dave? You got to get through a 28-hour book, huh? Wow. Gosh, how hard that must be for you.
I don't know this. I don't know the span of time between Wastelands and Wizard and Glass.
Let me look it up.
The only reason I know the Wastelands was 1991 is because at the end of the book, there's a passage about. Or from Stephen King saying like
Super Nintendo just came out. Looking
Right,
forward to playing
yeah.
that. Next book will be a minute.
right. I was gonna finish this book, but the Super Nintendo came out and Pilot Wings, right?
I'm going to snort a mountain of cocaine and play Pilot Wings. See you guys in 5 years.
And hopefully not get hit by a vehicle for a very long time. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's been I'm not eating up all of my free time, but like a good chunk of it. I have a bad habit of like putting it on like before bed with like the full intent of being like, I'll be fine. When I get sleepy, I'll tap out and I'll hit stop. But what actually happens is I wake up 3 hours later and I'm like, what is going on in the book?
Rewind.
Rhea did what to where?
Oh boy, I have some stuff to say about Rhea. I
you
guess
do.
I should save it for what we actually talk
Marriage.
about. Man, how many times I'm like, I won't save it. Fuck it. So many times I'm like, God damn, Stephen King is obsessed with this witch's pussy.
Come here, Nikki. It's time for an honesty test. Come here.
It's been 6 minutes and I've heard about her pussy 4 times, and then that girl's pussy 2 times.
Same for the fat preacher's pussy in the Gunslinger where I'm at.
Yeah, but that's like mentioned like I don't know. At that point, I guess Stephen King didn't like really appreciate him yet because he's like, I don't know. He sticks his gun in there.
I'm 17. It's between 2 white slabs of flesh.
And there's something up there. I don't know what it is, but I know it's something.
By the time he wrote Wizard of Glass, he'd seen a few.
Yeah.
6 years.
6 years.
There's a
between the
6-year
books.
gap between Wastelands and Wizard and Glass.
You know, I was. That's a long time.
that is a long time.
That's a long time to wait.
It hurts.
So they opened Wizard and Glass with essentially the last chapter from the Wastelands.
Right.
And what's interesting is reading them back to back is like noticing the changes that were made to that, because it's like, that's interesting. Because I know that's not how I heard it the first time.
Right.
But anyway.
And the Wolves of Kala was 2003. So
Is that the one
97 to
after Wizard of
2003.
Glass?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's about 6 years. So I wanted to say that there was a lot longer gap, but I think what it was, not so much one long gap, but like two pretty long gaps between volumes. So we had, Wizard and Glass 6 years, or Wasteland 6 years, then Wizard and Glass, and then 5 years next after that was Wolves. And then I think those next two came out.
So I remember Song of Susanna and Dark Tower were pretty.
They
pretty
were
quick
right
after that.
back to back, but yeah, long time. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I'm very glad.
It's
I just got started with Wastelands.
Song of Susanna was 2004, so only
So it
a
was a
year
year
between
later.
Wolves and Song of Susanna. And then the Dark Tower was where'd you go? Come on. Dark Tower 7. Same year, 2004?
Yeah, I wanted to say they were released like right back to back. Like he knocked it out all at once.
Yeah, that's what he decided to focus on, writing back to back instead of writing 2 books in between every book.
Yeah,
All right,
I've been enjoying getting back into it still. So
we were like in Discord in our private
Posted
chat,
screenshots.
just posting our screenshots of like what Dark Tower book we were on, and
inaudible.
yep. It's been nice. It's been nice reading it, and it's been nice talking to you guys about it, and yeah, it's been good. I've really enjoyed it. I feel like I'm going at a good pace just because
Very good pace.
It's hard
You
to
are.
It's hard to not.
It is. It's tough to put down.
And it's like when I get done with the Dark Tower series, I'm going to be like, all right, now I get to catch up on 3 months of podcasts that I haven't listened to.
Right.
I haven't listened to podcasts
Yep.
like at all.
I haven't either. I was making a good clip through Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Nope, not
Yeah.
now.
It's wrecked. Yeah, I
It's
get
not
it.
happening. I'm not picking it back up till I get through all 7 books.
Yeah.
Same as you. So
Yeah, I don't want to lose steam. I feel like being able to read them all at once is like, that's a blessing. And I don't need to
Yes.
spoil that blessing. You know what I
yes,
mean?
Absolutely. That is good. And it'll be one I feel like you're going to go back to it again someday.
It honestly, like, you getting messaged on Play Online or?
I don't know what the fuck that is. I guess it's my email somewhere.
Yeah, man, I can totally see going back because, like, Tyler, you mentioned this, like, in our chat, where it's like how much foreshadowing is done, and it's like, as somebody who like hasn't read it all already, I pick up on that, but like I don't have the perspective of somebody who's already read it all.
Well, you'll get. It's not one. For me personally, it's the Dark Tower series. Every few years, I'll go back to it, but it's a lot. It's a lot, and it gets in your head, and it stays there, and it changed a lot of the ways I look at things and the way I think about things, and it made a huge impact on me, is what I'm saying, and it's a lot. And I have trouble starting it, but I never have trouble finishing it because I know that once I start down that road, that's all I'm going to want to do.
Right.
And I got other shit to do, so.
Yep, I get it. It's also like crazy to think about like how popular like multiverses are now.
Yes.
And this is like,
the OG multiverse.
I mean, it's written a long time ago.
Yeah,
compared
so
to
Wheel of Time too. They touched on that early on in there.
Yeah.
They were in the 80s doing that.
Other than that, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV still. I'm on the Shadowbringers expansion, which is like the almost current. It's like the expansion before current, and it's good. I love it. It's different. It's a departure, and I think it's weird because we talked about this on the show years ago. But like things that are going to be like that are games that are forever linked with something else. because you're like another piece of media because you were consuming that media while you were playing this game kind of deal. I haven't really been playing Final Fantasy 14 while listening to The Dark Tower, but Shadowbringers, a lot of stuff in Shadowbringers reminds me of The Dark Tower. I mean, if you care about spoilers for an Final Fantasy 14 expansion from like 4 years ago, skip ahead 30 seconds. But the story is essentially like you are brought from your world to another world through a tower. And this world is one where it kind of bleeds into your world, which is called the Source. And it's post-apocalyptic. It's kind of like a catastrophe happened here, or cataclysm happened here, and you're in your world. You're the warrior of light. This world has been destroyed by a cataclysm of light. So like each I don't want to say planet, but plane. Each plane has its own element, and this plane's element is light.
Would you say that this world had moved on?
It definitely fucking moved on, and it's also like there's a lot of horror in this expansion, which I did not expect at all, and I mean like body horror. And like just some like or it's like again I don't want to spoil
Taru fleshlight
any shit. No, that's you can find that anywhere. You just gotta look. But like there's a scene where like you meet this NPC and it's like this isn't a game where I'm like used to like horrible shit happening to people because it's not a horror game. So like I met her and like she's nice and everything. It's like oh okay cool, and then like she transforms into this fucking horrible being. And like part of the lore of this world is when it was overcome by light, the light produces these like creatures. And there's these 3 light wardens, and they're what keep it like they hadn't seen the night sky for like 100 years. That's when the cataclysm happened. So it's like it's light all the time. It's daylight all the time. And these creatures, these big creatures called light wardens, shed the light. They emanate the light. And then there are like smaller creatures that kind of like have these relationships with the light wardens, where it's like with the light wardens are here, we're with the light wardens. And they have the potential of like infecting people. That's where like that's how they reproduce. They're kind of like zombies or aliens, I guess, in that regard. They kind of incubate in a body, and then that body is transformed. That shit happens.
Transformed by something popping through its chest?
Unfortunately, it's not. It's not one-to-one like that. But
I'm just seeing a lot of parallels being drawn to things that we're talking about tonight.
Yep, it's cool. I like it a lot. I wish I had more time to play it. I got it running on the Steam Deck finally. I was like, people can do this. I'm gonna figure it out without installing Windows, because that was like the caveat. It's like I don't want to install Windows on my Steam Deck. I don't want to do it.
I get it.
And it's just a driver's thing. If it were like an easy thing, like super easy, then it would be different. But I've read so much shit where it's like, yeah, dude, it's super easy. Here are 59 steps. But yeah, this was pretty easy. There's like this app on the Discover store called 14 Launcher. You install that. You install the Final Fantasy 14 trial from Steam, because don't buy it on Steam. Whatever you fucking do, don't buy the game on Steam, because fucking someone at Square Enix fucked up when they made the deal with Steam, because it was like, if you buy it on Steam, like your account's like locked to Steam, man. It's like, that's the only place you could fucking access your character. You can't like later down the road be like, oh, I'll play this on PlayStation 5. Fuck you. You're playing this on Steam.
Oh.
So it's fucking weird.
But it doesn't do that in the other direction.
No.
So if you bought it elsewhere,
yeah,
like PlayStation or something, you can play it using the free trial on Steam. If you sign into your account,
right? Exactly. That's how you essentially. That's the workaround that
Okay.
you like use to like be able to access it. So that's what I did, and I got it working. And I don't know how much I'm going to actually
That's pretty
play
cool,
it
though.
on that, because I do like playing on my computer, but it does mean I can travel with it, and that's nice.
That's the best time to play MMO.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for real. Like, yeah, when you're in a hotel room. But yeah, that's kind of it. Just staying current on the same old anime I've been watching. 16-bit Sensation. And
I'm letting that one build up.
yeah, I did for a little bit too.
I need more than just one at a time on those because that's a really good show.
I
And I
like
like
it.
to get more than one episode at a time.
It's a funny show. Like
Yeah, it's funny. I
There's
really think-
several
I agree.
laugh out loud moments I've had watching
Agreed.
that. And I still think it's really great for like retro tech porn.
Oh,
because
yeah,
I mean,
it really is. It hits that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Of retro tech, which is at one point in my life I referred to as tech.
cutting edge.
Cutting edge tech. Hey guys, Jay got a CD burner. He can burn his own CDs.
2x.
2 times speed.
There's a program called Nero.
Yes.
It's like Rome.
Nero burning ROM. Get it? Speaking of the deck, a friend of mine at work was telling me they just started playing Hades.
Yeah.
And they knew I had played it. And they start asking me all these
Oh,
questions.
now you want to play it, I bet.
No, I've already
No.
started. I've been back at it for like 2 days.
Nice.
Anna's going to start it this weekend when she gets back home from start of Christmas break. So.
Yeah.
I started
play that
like
with her.
I didn't realize how originally invested I was in that game and how much I actually knew about it. And they're like, well, what do you do here? I'm like, okay, the trick is you need to level your weapon up with some Titan blood and get as much darkness as you can. And really the one I like to get was this, and this. And there's a point at which you'll get 2 additional crystals for your cast. So you'll have 3. And my plan on every boss, load them up with those crystals and attack. And I did this for like 10 minutes.
That's amazing.
And I was like, oh shit, I think I want to play Hades again.
I don't remember, like, I couldn't tell you anything about the mechanics, but I'd be like, all right, these are the characters that I would like to fuck.
But I did. I didn't realize how much I remembered about that game. And it's been a while since I played it last.
It's been, yeah.
I had gone it. I put it on my Steam Deck when I first got it.
Seems like a great Steam Deck game.
It runs a little hot.
Does it really?
But not bad. It eventually cools itself off, but the fans normalize. But like usually when I play it handheld mode, especially, the fans run pretty loud for about 10 minutes, and then they
Oh shit, dog! You're playing Hades.
gets excited. It's not a processing thing. It's the deck's
Simmer
excitement.
down,
Simmer
Steam Deck.
down. But I won't know anytime soon if the OLED Steam Deck runs it any better, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to mention that because you brought up the deck and playing that game on the deck, and it made me remember that
I'm glad, man.
playing Hades again.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What are you doing, Tyler?
Before I'm behind on the Dark Tower from you guys because I wanted to finish the book I was on, which is the second book in the Aeronauts Winglass series by Jim Butcher. He wrote the Aeronauts Winglass in 2015 and then finally just came out with the second one in the series, The Olympian Affair, this year. So as soon as that dropped, I finished that, and then I'm going to put off, I think is it Starsight is the next thing that Brandon Sanderson has written in one of his series. But then I'm jumping into the Gunslinger, so I'll catch up with you guys. And I'm enjoying. I don't remember the last book Charles Goodell read that I listened to, but I like Charles Goodell a lot. The guy who reads the books on Audible.
Okay.
But mainly, so today, which today being not release day, but December 7th, Melissa's done with nursing school.
Hey,
all right.
congratulations,
Certificate.
Melissa.
She graduated. Her graduation is on Monday, but now she's done.
Can I
Finish it
get
all. She's
a
all good.
big fat hell yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Melissa. Proud of you.
So, yeah. And she's, signed on at the same hospital I work at, so it's going to be good. It's gonna be
Sweet.
good. Yeah.
Nice.
She was able to get days there. So she's the only person in her class that got days because everybody else is like, oh, we're new baby nurses. We have to work nights. She's working days because it was like, hey, director husband, you know anybody to put me on days? Yes, I do. We'll do that.
Remember, kids,
Because
it's
it'd be
not,
awful having you work nights.
It's
Yeah.
not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah. I'll never see you, and Jack will never see you. So, yeah, whatever we can do to make you work days.
Nice.
But yeah, that's about it for me. I watched Alien vs. Predator and played Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did those things too.
Same.
Well, do you guys want to? Do we want to eat some foods?
I brought some snacks.
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 Everybody.
We want to do those now. We want to do those for community corner.
Let's do them now.
Just
Fuck
do them
it.
now.
Okay.
Because we want to do a hard out tonight at 9 if we can.
Yeah.
So, earlier this week in the Discord, bit.ly/tadpog Discord or pisstasters.com.
Taste the piss.
Tastethepiss.com. I said tastethepiss.com.
It's Piss Tasters.
Is it piss
I
taste?
said taste the piss because you said pisstasters.com.
I don't work here. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I hear John gets upset when I don't do it.
I'm not
so
even here today.
I have it
I'm
written
not
on my
even
hand. Make
supposed
sure
to be
every
here
time
today.
He doesn't like it when we talk about Albert Fish, but man, he likes it when we talk about drinking piss.
It's true. Fish tasters.
Literally the guy who has had to be censored the most on this show gets mad about that.
No, technically Brandon's been the one who's been censored.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
like 2
That's
hours
true.
of censoring Brandon. That was a fun edit.
So on the Discord last week, Mike Lanham in the film and TV or in the food Discord
Yes.
posted a picture of Kevin McAllister
Yep.
from Home Alone
Yep. With the crunch taters.
eating crunch taters, and
you
there was
bring
a
fucking
thing
crunch
next
taters?
to it that said, "This month at Dollar General, Lay's is re-releasing crunch taters."
Dude, did you bring crunch taters? You got the mesquite crunch taters? Oh, fuck. I see that alligator. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Man, I am excited.
Original and mighty
I bought
mesquite.
original, and I have a dessert treat as well for y'all to try. But I brought original and mighty mesquite flavored crunch taters so that we could have a snack
Yes.
and try these on the show.
Did you eat these back in the day?
No.
Man, I did. And you know why? Because it has a cute alligator wearing a cowboy hat.
I
and
would like to
boots.
think of him as the crunch tater gator.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what it is. So these are kettle style.
He's a
Okay.
crunch slinger. Damn it. I can't remember.
Don't forget the face of Steve Irwin.
Too soon. Too soon.
Here's the original flavor.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to get a little handful of both of these.
Figured
Can I have a
Yes,
mesquite?
I figured I'd just destroy both of y'all's diets.
Yep. Let's go get it's man.
But it's Christmas.
It saves me from buying a full bag. So this is awesome.
I'm going to take these home and see how my wife feels about them as well. If Gage still lived at home, he would probably be freaking out about it. But anyway,
Plain first.
plain
let's do plain
first.
first.
Crunch tater time.
I never had one of these.
That's a good chip. Mm-hmm. Not too salty. Mm-hmm. Got a nice tater flavor.
It'd be good with a dip. Hell of a good sour cream to onion dip.
I like that creamy ranch dip that Lay's makes. I bet that would go with it.
All right.
Mesquite barbecue.
Mighty
Mesquite.
mesquite.
Hell yeah. Man,
That is a good flavor.
shit brings me back.
Does it? Is it
Yeah,
is
it
it
does.
accurate
I mean, as
as far
I
as
can
you know?
remember, yeah. Hell yeah. Ian,
It's a good chip.
I've been
Thank you,
watching
dude.
so much
You're
Iron
welcome.
Chef, and they'll eat something, and the taste is it's very nostalgic. Yeah. Well, okay,
It is.
that taste is very nostalgic.
it is.
It's gentle and subtle and very nostalgic.
I'm just gonna pull this bag over here. Just have a little bit.
Yourself. Have as many as you like. I'm gonna wrap up the bag so they don't get stale and mushy, but have as many as you need.
I'm good.
Tyler, you want some more?
I'm good, my friend. Thank you.
I do have a dessert as well. Something else I found at Dollar General that I've never seen before. I am going to have one with you,
Okay.
but it will be my second one of the night.
Okay.
Because I could not resist. I had to eat one right after I got it into the car. It's a new Hostess cake. That's right, fellows. A new Hostess cake. It's called a Casbar.
Rock the Casbar. Rock the
Okay.
Casbar.
This is a triple chocolate cake with sweet crunch pieces in it. It's like got Rice Krispies in it
Oh, okay.
in the middle. They're good. They're good. They're real good. I enjoyed it. So and they're tiny, so you don't have to feel too guilty about snacking on them.
You want to split that? You want to split
I'll
that
split
with
that
me?
with you. Yeah, that'll work.
I'm gonna eat a whole one because I'm a big fat pig.
No.
Oink, oink, baby.
I have a weakness for sweetness.
So does my A1C.
And don't you hesitate to tell me if you want more crunch taters throughout the course of the show. I'll get them to you.
Thank you. The last one I had was like the fucking like perfect crunch tater because it was like 8 of them that had been like folded over on themselves. So it's like, oh, it's a good chip.
Well, so now I remember, the whole Robo eats Oreo, but Davey wants tater. Davey got a shoulder to go, Davey wants tater.
It's a thing now.
Tadpog want Casbar.
Casbar, here we go.
Okay, that's good.
It's a
I
pretty
like
good
it.
cake. They make one with caramel too.
I think I prefer this one.
I do. I agree.
It's good. I wish there were more Rice Krispies though. Maybe I got
Mine
it.
did have like 2 in it. So
It could use more, but also that cake was designed for one person, so maybe
Right.
the ratio would have been better if you had each had a whole one.
Yeah, it's like a
I'm
burrito.
doing.
Burrito physics.
Right. That's the snack corner for
Dude,
tonight.
awesome snack corner. Thank you.
Crunch taters.
well, we want to take a quick little break and then jump into the movie and the game.
Yes, that sounds good.
I'm still eating, so yes.
And now for the game talk.
The
And
game
movie
talk. And movies. Yes.
So
Cuban beef.
I have seen, in this order, Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection, the Predator remake, Alien, and now Alien versus Predator.
Okay,
What Predator remake are you referring to?
The one with Adrian Brody.
that's Predators.
It's
right?
Predators.
Predators.
And it's
Predators.
not a remake. It's a part 3
Oh.
Yeah,
in
Well,
the
then-
series.
and
That's
that's
what
what,
I've
I
seen.
confused for whatever reason. Confused with Alien versus Predator because I had never seen it before, but I had seen Predators. So that's my story.
Well, I love Alien. Love
Yeah,
love
Alien
it.
is a
And I
great
don't
movie.
like, I'm hard pressed to like older movies.
Do you like
Fuck,
Alien?
I loved
Did you
Alien.
see Aliens as well? Just Alien?
Just Alien.
You'll like Aliens.
Alien Resurrection, which I did not understand
Resurrection.
at all.
I
And then
haven't seen that one.
Alien.
Most people don't understand it, and it's okay because I like it fine, but it's widely considered to be one of the worst of the franchise. Aliens, however, is considered to be the best of the franchise. I personally prefer Alien, the original Alien.
Because Aliens is
same.
where it kind of takes that
Aliens
action
is an action movie.
But
Yeah.
Aliens is
Yeah.
you might like it though.
Yeah.
I'd give it a shot.
Alien.
I know Josh of Tadpog Sweethearts loves Aliens.
It's
It's
a
a-
I mean, it's
it's
a
a great
fine movie. It's just it's not a horror movie, and that's what
Yeah,
Alien
so-
is. Alien is a horror movie.
Yeah.
See,
it is.
that's what I feel like the franchise should be. But I feel like now it's almost more of an action franchise, right? Than a horror.
Yeah, it's a weird. I feel like both the Predator franchise and the Alien franchise are like, I don't know, man. It's almost like they just got out of control. You know what I mean? Where it's like I feel like they're so like far from where they began, and I mean,
Why does that
stuff
happen?
evolves.
Why does horror as a genre? I can think of so many instances where it turns into action.
It's a lot of times I think it's because a lot of horror movies are rated R, and I think generally rated R movies are more difficult to sell, and
Yeah.
and I also think that horror is more niche than like action.
So it's just money. Just
That's my-
taking,
that's my
it's an
guess.
easy twist to get it in that direction and
That's my
make more
guess.
money. I don't like it.
So the Predator, I think Predator is a good example of an action movie that works as a horror film because it becomes a horror film. In
Yeah,
my opinion,
I personally
it starts off as a macho, toxic masculinity based action movie, but about midway through becomes a legitimate horror film.
Yeah, I
And
think-
with
yeah.
that, with Arnold being the last
final girl.
the final girl, exactly.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the term. And I think Predator 2,
I haven't seen it. I tried to as a kid, and I was like, I don't know. It's in the city.
Here's
And
what-
that threw me off. That was it.
Predators in the city.
first of all, I like Dan.
Watch out, New York. Predators are coming to the city.
Well, it's funny you say it like that because the Predator 2 is the most tropey 90s movie ever made.
Is it really?
Starring
It,
Steve Guttenberg.
it covers all the bases. I mean, Morton Downey Jr. is in it. The guy that used to smoke cigarettes and put them out in a big bowl of cigarette butts and scream and yell at the TV. They have all that in it. So it's kind of hard to get past that. But Danny Glover is in it, and he's the protagonist. And I liked the story. I liked the movie. And it also, you got Gary Busey, you've got Danny Glover, you've got Bill Paxton is in that as well as in Aliens. But I think a lot of the good stuff that's in Predator 2 gets lost in the fact that it's so loud and so obnoxious, and it's the tropey, stereotypical view of the future kind of thing. And I think it puts a lot of people off. But at the end of the day, I really like it. And I honestly think that it has a lot more of a bearing on what happens in Alien versus Predator, the movie, than the first one. Of course, in the first Predator movie, we get introduced to the concept of a predator, right? In the second one, we get introduced to the concept of their culture. And as you know, we get that in droves at the last third of Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
Where she sort of teams up with him, and
Which is where I kind of noped out of the movie.
oh man.
Well, I feel like
disagree.
what I knew about Predator seems to be in weird conflict with the last third of Alien vs.
Same.
Predator.
Yeah. Well, and it's also,
Because it's like, well, just to jump forward, as I feel the end of that movie is the equivalent of like me throwing a giant swordfish in a pond and being like, I'm gonna catch that. I'm a great fisherman. I mean, why are you, if you're the ultimate predator, you're just farming your prey? Seems like contradictory to the great hunt. And I don't know. It's Bobby Hill hitting the deer with his car and saying, "Oh, I got one."
the problem I had with the last third of the movie was that it felt like I couldn't get where the woman is coming from, because I could get where the predator is coming from when they team up, but like her, it's kind of like, well, I know you've been like for thousands of years using human beings, like you've been using them as sacrifices so that you can hunt these aliens. So But yeah, I mean, I want to live, so yeah. But like, I would understand that, but it like the direction she takes, where she seems like honored, and I don't know, man. I was just like, fuck, dude.
She got Munchausen's real fucking
bad.
fast. Bam.
Yeah, or Stockholm
Thank
syndrome.
you.
Yeah.
She wasn't pretending to be sick to get the predator's attention. You're right, Stockholm syndrome.
But I liked the Antarctica bit. I liked.
Well, let me do a little recap.
Okay.
For anyone that doesn't know,
Because you love the shit out of this movie.
I love the shit out of this movie. And for anyone that doesn't know, the way that this movie takes place around, I want to say I think it's just timely, and it came out in 2004.
Yeah.
I think it takes place around that time.
Yeah, I think it's like in the not too distant future. Kind of
Right.
deal, right.
Not too distant future, correct. And so there's this multi-billionaire named Wayland, who discovers a heat bloom in the Antarctic under the ice to the tune of about 2,000 feet under the ice. He brings together a team of archaeologists and one woman in particular who is a skilled mountain climber, particularly in Arctic regions. She knows her stuff, to build this team and a team of drillers that he brings to this. They brings all these people together so they can go and find this thing, because the way that it looks to their scans is that it is a structure that shouldn't exist. It's made up of remnants of styles from Egyptian, Cambodian, and Aztec culture.
It's a pyramid.
It's a pyramid, yeah, that has. So it's like the Egyptian pyramids, it's like the Aztec ziggurats, it's like the Cambodian temples, all from around the same time, but never ever seen together. And so they think that this may be the remnants of the actual first civilization of humans. And so they want to go investigate and be the first to find it. Meanwhile, in orbit above the planet Earth, 3 predators in their ship have positioned their ship over Antarctica. They use this. They are going to go to the same temple. They shoot a laser beam that drills a 2,000-foot hole in the ice instantaneously, and go down to the surface. And then they end up going down. The humans end up going down, finding the temple. But little do they know, the predators, they see that the hole's already been drilled. They think someone has beat them to it, but there's no possible way anyone could have drilled a hole that quickly, because it wasn't there before. Now it is. They don't know what's going on, but they go down there anyway.
And I do like the shot. Everything about that hole I like.
It's great.
Big fan of that hole.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I like the shot.
Buy a nickel for every.
Right? When the camera pans back from like where the laser shot came from, and you see like the roofs of the mining.
Yeah, just clipped.
Yeah.
Like that cut through them perfectly.
Yeah, I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Do we know how long ago the last?
It's supposed to be every 100 years.
1904. According to this. So when they go into the temple and they find that they believe to be a sacrificial chamber, which it is in a way.
But they didn't really have heat signature finding technology. So are they updating the lure every 100 years to get people there?
No. So I think what they were going to do personally is that I think they were going to use 2 predators. I think one predator was there for the hunt, and the other 2 were there to become, it's my belief, the other 2 were there to become hosts for more aliens. Because as you know,
For predators to become hosts?
Yes. So I think because what I don't understand is that, like, they use human hosts, and
right.
Eventually what happens is the predators have fired up the power source for this pyramid, and in the basement of this pyramid is a giant alien queen,
right.
who has been frozen, and now she's thawed out, and her whole purpose, she's chained up, and her whole purpose is to lay eggs, which have face huggers, which then latch onto faces, which then impregnate humans with the alien, and then the alien bursts forth. The problem is there's so many by the end of the movie. There's a lot of them, and I'm wondering if they can't self-reproduce at some point.
Well, one of my complaints about the movie, honestly, is I feel like there weren't enough aliens, because like
There were more than I felt like there should be, because there were only maybe 5 or 6 humans, but there were definitely more aliens than that by the time the movie wrapped up.
There's a scene that I swear they probably just used for promotion, because like there's a scene in the movie that looks awesome. It's when they're talking about the history of the pyramid, and it's like these predators on top of the pyramid, and it's like Doom style, where it's like the pyramid's just being swarmed by like a legion of aliens, and it's like, man, I bet they use that in the commercial. Because like I feel like what I got in the movie wasn't that. It was what I was so disappointed.
Well, it wasn't going to be that, because what we find out is centuries and thousands of years ago, the aliens came to the Earth and they taught humans how to build the pyramids. They're saying that this was like all done, all of the technology and all of the pyramid building and stuff. There's always been a conspiracy theory that how could they have done this? This had to be alien technology. That was the case in Stargate and several other stories. But it turns out the predators are the ones, and they come here. They help us. We build these pyramids. They show us how, but we willingly sacrifice some of our humans to host their aliens so they can do this hunt as a rite of passage.
But if they're willing to farm, because I've been on alien TikTok for a minute, just because I think the alien story is fascinating and the alien biology and all that. So aliens get stronger and evolve based on host jumping, collecting from whoever their host is to the next alien that comes out of that.
Right.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, that's why, like, because I saw the evolution of like aliens into like the creators, whatever, from Prometheus. Whenever one gets a hold of that gives birth to more of the modern day alien, and like
they evolve over. So Prometheus is the first. Prometheus explains where the origin of aliens. That explains how these creatures came to exist in the first place. Is all I'm going to say about that, and it's all tied together in the sense that. So in this movie, what after the aliens, the queen lays the eggs make the face huggers latch onto the explorers, henceforth come the aliens, and now it's the pyramid keeps changing, the walls change, the stairways change. It's a maze. Every 10 minutes it changes. And during the course of going into the pyramid, they find the cache of weapons. So what the idea is that the whole ritual of this first hunt for a predator is they take them into this pyramid, they go in, and they have to fight their way through the pyramid, or make their way through the pyramid at least, to their weapons, which are the shoulder-mounted cannons. And they put the date in, and the humans find the weapons first, and they find that the last date that was entered was 10/10/1904, and the date that they're in the pyramid in the movie is 10/10/2004. So that he just tries it and it opens. They get the predator's guns, but they don't know that they're the predator's guns. As soon as they lift the guns out of the thing, the pyramid starts shifting and changing, because that's essentially how the game starts for them. And so from that point, now the predators are like, what the fuck? They're running around trying to find their weapons, because they're also now trapped inside this pyramid, but they don't have their advanced weaponry that they use to hunt with. So anyway, they end up trying to get their guns back. In the process, more and more aliens are being created, and they kill the humans because predators won't kill if you're unarmed or if you're weak. They only will kill if they're being attacked or if they're in a battle with something. They won't kill an unarmed person.
Yeah.
So that goes back to the first one. That's why the woman in the first one wasn't killed, because she wasn't armed.
But why are they like? Clearly, they know what the human alien looks like. If it's the constant hunt against the ultimate prey, like, all right, we know like human bred alien does this. It's pretty strong, but we make it a ritual for our kids to go kill them. Like, why are they not like making stronger? All right, well, we got everything we can do out of this. Let's make stronger aliens. If they're okay with farming, which feels weird to me.
That's the one kind of. I don't have a problem with them using it. It's almost like a video game. It's almost like a training sim. Like, this isn't hard for them, but but aliens are tough to fight. So this is their first hunt. Maybe these are like, young adult predators or whatever, and this is a ritual that you have to go through in one form or fashion. Maybe they have other places like this all over the galaxy that they've got set up for their training, for their hunting. I don't know. But in the one bugaboo I have is, like you said, Tyler, where were they planning on getting aliens? Because there were no hosts. And the only thing I could think of is that maybe one of them was going to make itself into a host for an alien. But that kind of gets defeated at the end of the movie, at the very, very end, and I'll get to that.
Yeah, the Predalien.
Yeah, the Predalien. But anyway, long story short, they get together, or they're fighting, and finally the heroine, the main character of the movie, realizes what they've been trying to do this whole time is get their guns.
Yeah.
So she gives the one remaining predator who hasn't been killed by aliens his gun, his cannon, and he ends up saving her life by accident, by virtue of the fact that his whole point is to kill aliens, and one happens to come in the room while she's in there. She kills the alien. It runs at her, and she picks up a spear that he had dropped, and it just impales itself on there. And so at that point, the predator
Get your brand.
Yeah, the predator kind of sees her as an equal, because the whole point of them being there at all is to prove their worth by hunting and killing aliens. And she kills one, so he, by their law, by their code, is how I see this, is that he has to acknowledge the fact that she is an equal, because she has done the thing that his two buddies couldn't. She killed one, even if it was by accident. And so,
all right, Cattle, you killed one. So,
but they team up under the premise of the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I read that, Gary Larson.
And they get together. So they agree, at a gentleman's truce, if you will. I'm not going to kill you. You're not going to kill me. We have a common enemy. We need to get out of this pyramid. So we're going to team up. So they team up to escape the pyramid and get out from under the ice. And on the way out, the predator nukes the pyramid in true predator fashion.
They said if the predators all die, they destroy the site.
Right.
And the lore, when the guy reads all the lore at the end on the floor.
The last ditch the last ditch effort, and this is the scene you were talking about, Dave, when they flash back to centuries ago when they're fighting. If there's thousands and thousands and thousands of these coming, and he knows that this is I can't get out of here, they nuke them.
Right.
And reset it all back to nothing for 100 years. So this is what he does. He nukes the place. They ride the sled up the awesome ice tunnel, but they didn't know the queen got out. Mm-hmm. So there's another battle. The predator that she teams up with, this is all spoilers if you're wondering, the predator she teams up with is killed, but she tries to save his life. He marks her with the symbol that she has completed the hunt at, like they do, and as he dies, and then the rest of the predators come to pick up his body, and they give her his weapon as a token of passage. You have past our ritual. We're not going to kill you. We're going to give you his weapon.
Use
and we're
these
gonna
against the
leave."
cops who are
definitely
going to
Yeah.
arrest you
Coming
because
with
your whole
lots of
expedition's dead.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about was the fact that, of course, Lance Henriksen is in this movie.
Right, yeah.
And he plays Wayland. He is the billionaire that starts the company that ultimately becomes Wayland Yutani, which is the company that funds the mining operation in Alien. And
He tries to fight a predator with what I used to do with the lighter and the hairspray back in, back in middle school.
Yeah.
his likeness is used for Bishop in Aliens because he plays
okay.
Bishop in Aliens. They use him in this as a kind of a tie-in to his company that builds these androids later. His face is used as a bishop, as an alien, or as an android. So it's a neat. I thought that was a neat little tie-in.
Yeah.
How they did that, and I didn't feel like all of there's a lot of stuff, movies like this, you feel like it could be shoehorned in, or it's like they retcon things. I thought they did a good job with this one. I found it to be entertaining. Paul W.S. Anderson directed it, which he is also responsible for Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat movie. He did Soldier, starring Kurt Russell. He did all of the Resident Evil movies, The Death Race, and Event Horizon. 4 stars. Wisdom Sage says check it out. And a Monster Hunter movie. So I like a lot of his stuff. I like his style. And I thought that the lead, Sanaa Lathan, was really excellent in the role. The only other thing I remember seeing her in was Out of Time with Denzel Washington. If you haven't seen that, highly recommend on that one. But overall, yeah, it's just I thought it fit really well into the franchise. I really liked it. So,
Do they do anything in the future? Because I haven't seen all the movies. Do they do anything in the future with, or since 2004, have they done anything with the Alien Predator combo?
they didn't. There was a second Alien versus Predator movie.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Called Alien versus Predator: Requiem, which is it's fine, I guess. It's not as good as the first one.
They
and
get it to heroin and hook up with drug dealers.
that one,
Alien versus Predator: Requiem for a Dream.
that one did have.
We're not taking it up for air.
I'm not going ass with that.
That one was less enjoyable for me, but the biggest problem with Alien versus Predator Requiem was the fact that the movie was so dark.
Like visually, not
Visually,
able
like
to see anything.
in the theater, I couldn't hardly see what was going on because it was so badly lit.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to be dark, but they went too far. And don't even try watching this on your TV during the day.
Right.
It's like the picture went out half the time. But that's all I can remember that they did as far as an Alien Predator crossover in the movie form. I think there was a whole series of comics and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I haven't read any of them.
haven't either.
I'd seen them before.
Yeah.
I've never really been a big. I don't know. I guess I've never really been a big fan of I'm a fan of the original movies, and then kind of outside of that, it's been like, oh, I'll watch them every now and then. You know, I don't have anything against them. It's just I tend to. It's one of those. They're both kind of those franchises that I feel like the longer they go on, the it's not like I actively hate them or anything. It's just the less I kind of enjoy them.
I get it. I liked Prometheus a lot.
Yeah.
But the follow-up to Prometheus I thought was really bad. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't see that one.
It wasn't to me. It wasn't great. I don't know how anyone else would feel about it, but the Predator movies have been a big deal to me since the 80s. You know, I eat it up. Anytime they make anything Predator related or Alien related, I get into it, and I love it usually because I'm one of those that you can't disappoint me.
Yeah.
I'll find something to like about it. And of course, Prey. We talked about Prey.
I loved Prey. I thought Prey was fantastic.
That was an excellent movie, and that really, I felt like that breathed a lot of life.
Well, because it was fresh
into the Predator
like it
series.
was a fresh take, and I mean, the setting was a big part of that. The setting was a character on its own. It was one of those. I like that because that was a new perspective, and it didn't seem. It didn't seem like none of it felt like fan service. You know what I mean? Like it all just kind of felt like I kind of feel like in some of the Alien movies and I guess Predator movies too, it just kind of gets like check the boxes, you know, where it's like, okay, well, what do people like about instead? A lot of times to me, it feels like instead of let's make a great story or like a great script, it's more like a checkbox. It's like a checkbox list of check. Like, what do we need to have in this movie? Well, the Predator's got to kill somebody when they're invisible. Okay, so we got to have that's got to be in the movie. It kind of seems.
Where's that list the suits gave us? Okay,
right
here.
Yeah, yeah. What did marketing drum up? You know that we need to have in the movie. I kind of feel like the first times you see that stuff happen, it's like. It's nice because it's like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened. But then, like, I don't know, the 9th time you see it, it's kind of like, well, I mean, I guess you got to have it in there. I don't know. I don't want to. I didn't hate Alien versus Predator, but I also didn't love it.
I'm in that camp too, but mostly just because I love Alien lore and Predator lore. So then whenever, like, I don't know, this didn't, to what I've learned to love on TikTok and get into and read the wiki and look at the comics, didn't translate as well for me to the movie. So it kind of, I liked it okay, but I mean, I liked all the other movies we've watched recently better than this.
I will say that. And that's funny you say that because besides Demolition Man, this is probably my favorite one.
Really?
But I will say, I realize, I'm not being apologetic here. I promise.
I like this better than Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I am in the minority. I realize that most of the people I know that have seen this movie didn't like it, and I get that. I get it. And for you guys, I didn't expect that you guys were going to care for it either when we talked about it.
I think just some of how actiony and some of the jump cuts and jump close-ups and how it felt kind of jarring. If it had been a little more hunting and stalking or a little more stealth, and I don't like stealth, but if it had been a little more, I don't know, tension instead of just big.
Sure.
Brawling fight scene.
We have problem. Here is solution.
Right.
We must implement. Yeah.
Well, and I was disappointed by the fights because I feel like a lot of times the Alien and the Predator kind of acted outside of lore. I felt like because like there's a scene where an alien like screeches before it jumps at the Predator, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're an alien. You're like
supposed to be the highest evolutionary.
You're supposed to like backstab this guy like you did the other one. You know, the one that died. I don't understand. So like that stuff like that kind of bothered me. And then like the Predator, I feel like you were talking about, isn't really being stealthy either. And I know that can be written off as like this is his first hunt kind of deal, and that makes sense. But like when they're actually fighting, I thought they were shot like frustratingly. I wouldn't say bad, but everything's so close up. It was like
there wasn't a lot of
what is Predator, what is Alien.
Great.
Yeah, but not only that, but it's like it doesn't you don't get I didn't get a good sense of the action. It did kind of feel like just two creatures just slamming on each other.
Yeah.
And I mean there are some cool shots. Like there's a point where the Predator shoots an alien, catches him in one of the razor nets.
Yeah.
And it like starts constricting on the alien. That's fucking awesome. Cause it like you see it, it looks great. It like cuts into the alien's skin and it looks like an aubergine. And then like you see that green blood in that like net pattern. Like
and you know who that is.
Right, it
later.
persists. Yeah, and I love that. And I thought that was really nice. And And there are also some really good shots of like, I think some of the creepiest shots of like a head-on like close-up of an alien, like a xenomorph's face. They do a really good job with like the like mercury teeth and stuff,
Yeah.
and I think that looked really good. There's a lot of good stuff. I just wish that it would have. I wish that like those shots and like that attitude would have like carried over to like the actual fights, because I thought the fights were hard to follow and weak.
I get that. It was kind of like the first couple of Transformers movies where there was just in kind of the opposite way. There was so much going on, I couldn't follow it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what was happening because it was just too hard, too much happening in the shot.
And it's funny you bring up Transformers, because I've never seen any of those movies, but it's not like I've actively gone out of my way to not. But the complaint that I heard from a lot of people for those movies, or at least maybe I guess the first one, was like, well, it's focused. There's too many people. It's like, we want to see the Transformers. There's too many people. Like that's kind of how I felt with Alien versus Predator, because man, I feel like that movie doesn't like kick off until like an hour.
Yeah, it does take a while to get started.
And it's kind of one of those where it's like,
I don't want to go on the expedition. You should. I don't want to. Here's reason. Okay.
yeah, and they're kind of gathered up. I got big Jurassic Park vibes from like the way they're gathered up, because
Yeah.
like a lot of that shit, like when they meet like the archaeologist,
Yeah.
and it's like very much like, oh, you're gonna lose your funding. Come to this. We're gonna take you on a helicopter ride into this dangerous
Very
place.
much the same thing.
Yeah.
So what I've learned from movies is that archaeologists can be bought.
Yeah.
For the right amount of money to fund the dig, archaeologists will do anything.
I bet those guys make tons of money in the real world.
Well, we talk about the game.
We can.
Move over to the game.
We can talk about
So
the game.
it's as if you take all the things I didn't like about the movie and make that into a game. You've got Alien vs. Predator on the Super Nintendo. Did not expect it to be a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
This one got me too.
All.
I thought I did not. I had the same problem that happened with Cliffhanger. I fired it up and I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I knew you weren't gonna like this one.
Yeah, not a fan.
I knew that this was a beat 'em up. There's a better Alien versus Predator beat 'em up that Capcom made for arcades. It was never ported to a home console. It was supported up to 3 players. You might not like that one either, because I know you're not a big beat 'em up fan, but
I can at least appreciate a good one.
it's a lot better than this SNES game, which was developed it was developed by Jorudan, who made a bunch of games that no one has heard of in North America, because they pretty much exclusively publish games in Japan. They are around still.
Wow.
Making video games? No.
Oh.
No. They are
Washing machines.
Pachinko machines.
Any more guesses?
Pinball.
They are primarily known for operating a public transport route navigation website.
All right.
All right.
It was published, this game, not the website, was published by Activision in 1993. And yeah, side-scrolling beat 'em up.
So we know that since this game came out 11 years before the movie, the game has nothing at all to do with the movie.
Right.
Because the movie doesn't exist for another 11 years. But I'm assuming it was based on comics.
I don't know what the development hell was like for the Alien versus Predator movie, but I can tell you that the Capcom video game that came out in 1994 was based on a movie script for Alien versus Predator that never happened.
Really?
Yes. So they wanted an Alien versus Predator movie to happen for at least 10 years.
Wow.
Before it happened.
That's crazy that it was I didn't know that the movie drama was going on
I didn't either until
a decade
Yeah.
before the movie was actually made.
So I don't know that full history, but
Yeah.
I do know that the Capcom game was based on a movie script that was never produced.
Well, here's the problem: is that if you've got a video game that tries to tell a story, you got to have more storytelling, and what we get are similar scenes to what we have gotten from some of these other movie video games, which is stuff we already know because we saw the movie or we read the book or we saw the comic or whatever. In this, they're telling the story between stages, sort of, but it's like, really, there's not much to the story. It's
No.
there were aliens here. The predators came to hunt them.
Yep.
Once they were out of the building, then they went to the woods.
Uh-huh.
Once they were done at the woods, then they went to the spaceship.
Yep.
When they were done in the spaceship, they went to the other planet.
Yep.
And
The alien home planet.
the thing that I laughed, I watched the long play of this because I hated the game and played it for maybe 30 minutes before I put it down. The thing I loved the most was at the end of the game, right before you roll the credits, it said, "The predators have killed all of the aliens. It's like humanity owes the predators a great debt, but the predators don't want recognition. They just want the perfect hunt, and maybe someday they'll find another planet where they can hunt this massive prey again." Or so. It's the dumbest ending I've ever. And what the fuck was that thing at the end that didn't look like a predator at all. The art of the predator, they don't look right.
The cutscenes in the game are like they're still images. They're PNGs essentially. And they don't look good. And they reuse them.
Yes.
Between different cutscenes. So it's
Yes.
kind of like, okay, well, you could at least show us some new art.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice. I did like the in-game art. I thought like a lot of the alien designs were cool.
The alien designs look pretty good. I thought the Predator looked okay in game.
Yeah, in-game, I liked the Predator as well. I liked all the in-game graphics, honestly, although I didn't like how, like, the level where you're on the spaceship, it's essentially one screen that just loops for the entire like level, and it's like, oh my god, and it's like mode 7 asteroids and shit in the background.
Yeah.
It's like,
That was weird.
yeah, it was weird because you think one might hit the ship.
It just passes right by. The last second, that's what everyone on the ship should be worried
You're
about.
right. Fuck these aliens.
The aliens are a problem. These asteroids are almost every single one of these is going to hit us if we're not careful.
Yeah.
I've almost got a little bit together for us.
Well, so I can respect a good beat 'em up, and I will say this one had advantages over like Cliffhanger as a beat 'em up. It had the standard stuff, which Cliffhanger was missing.
Yeah.
Which is the ability to throw.
Yep, you could do throws.
You could do throws.
in this
You could do.
game.
There's a slide. You can slide into your enemy. There's, obviously there's weapons to pick up, which, and I think that you could move up and down, and it was a standard format beat 'em up.
And the weapons that they include are classic Predator. They don't stray from
Right,
the
spears and the discs and the
and you have
exactly.
a cloaking device.
Which I thought I didn't understand it. I just think that I know that when you're wearing the cloak, you weren't being actively attacked, and I
Right.
thought that was a neat
It's neat.
effect that they give you. They include that. They're like, hey, it's Predator.
It's Predator.
We know one of the things he does is he can be invisible.
Yep.
So I thought that was cool that they included that. What I would have liked for it to have done would be to allow you to move forward instead of hitting the hard stops where you have to fight several aliens before you can move to the next section. I would have liked for the invisibility cloak to let you move
Past them.
like
Yeah.
to the next screen
Avoid
or
'em.
two before it wears off, so you could maybe almost like fast track your way partially through the level.
To progress, sure.
Because every single one of these sections of these levels took forever to get through.
I feel like that's because the aliens in this game are hit point sponges. They
Yes.
take forever to kill.
Yes.
And it gets so one of the flaws of a beat 'em up, I feel like, that you have to design around is there's this obstacle where it's like, hey, this starts to get boring after a while. And it's
Yes,
like
it does.
that's just the nature of the game.
Right.
It's like,
So how do we break the
how do you
monotony?
break? And they don't do that in Alien versus Predator.
Ever.
Their answer is, I guess, give the enemies more hit
Let's
points.
make it worse.
But it's still not as bad as like Last Action Hero. Like they're not. The enemies don't have. They're not that hard to take down.
No,
It's
no.
like it's not perfect. I wouldn't even say it's good. It's bad, but it's not like horribly
could
bad.
be a lot
It
worse.
could be a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also like, you're right that they added all these like things that a beat 'em up should have, like throws and weapons.
That was refreshing. And at first I was like, oh, good.
Right. But I do feel like they managed to fuck some of that shit up because it's like they include throws, but they don't do any damage.
No, they're just getting them off of you. And it's like, I don't need to
Right.
throw it to get it off. I can just punch it.
Because they're fast. And it's like you throw it off, they're right back on
Yeah.
you, which is, that's keeping with the alien. So it's like, okay, but at least if you throw an enemy at another enemy, it should hurt the enemies.
Right.
It should stun them for a little bit or something.
should happen.
There
but
should be a
nothing
benefit.
happens.
There's
And it's
also-
too easy to catch them in a throw.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to want it. It's,
Right.
You could be pushing forward and hit your attack, and you're holding them, and it's almost like the predator breaks the fourth wall and looks back at you, the player. You gonna do something?
Right.
I can't do with anything with what you're pressing. You need to press another button, so I throw this thing,
Yeah.
and it breaks it. It
Yep.
breaks the
Momentum?
Momentum, yes.
For sure. I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know if the alien ever breaks out of that hold. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I really
maybe
don't.
you could just stand there, and he'd be like,
Right. Who knows if
Yeah.
another alien didn't come up and attack you? I don't know how long you'd hold it. But like also on the throws, it's like, again, a swing and a miss because there are stages where there are ledges, like in the forest level, you descend down these cliffs.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, okay, I've played a beat 'em up game before. One of my favorite things to do is fucking one-shot enemies by throwing them off of cliffs.
right.
And so I'm immediately trying to do that, and there's like an invisible wall
They
that's like,
bounce
no, you
and-
gotta fight this.
You gotta fight it. It's like,
No, it's that easy,
but
buddy.
it's a cliff.
You're a predator. You gotta have honor. You don't throw them off cliffs.
So that's like,
But you can slide kick for fucking days, man. That's honorable.
yeah, but what sucks about, so I don't know, that slide kick is like, you could lean on that if you wanted to. And for a minute, I was like, I'm gonna lean on this.
I did.
And then I was
Hard.
like,
Yeah,
this
me
does so
too.
little damage that it's like,
It'll take even longer.
It'll take even
Oh, it
longer.
took me so long to get to level 2. So long.
It's got a shooting mechanic in it. Mm-hmm. The Predator has his shoulder-mounted laser cannon, I guess you would call it. That's what I would call it.
Literally a pew pew in this game.
Well, you can charge it, which I think is nice because if you charge it all the way, he does like a screen clear essentially, which is like I guess a mini nuke. Which I relied on heavily, and then I was like, "Why am I almost dead?" Oh, okay. It hurts me when I do that. Oh well,
Gonna keep doing
gotta
it.
keep doing it. That's how I took down bosses because like the bosses are like
Oh, yeah.
they're like paper thin. It's like to find the hitbox.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the sprite makes it look like this thing would be about as wide as a Buick, But like in the game, it feels like they're as wide as like a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Because you have to like, I'm like, I feel like I'm lined up, man. I know how to play a beat 'em up. My shadow is lined up with his shadow. I should be able to hit. And it's like, no, there's like this circle, this invisible circle in the middle of the sprite that you have to like get in and hit. And he's gonna like scratch you a bunch. When
Oh
you
yeah,
do that.
I don't know. The game, especially the bosses, felt fucking comical. It felt like I was playing a reskinned Ninja Turtles every time
Sure.
I fought a boss, because
Yeah.
the first boss jumps in and out of the sewer.
Yeah.
You get one hit before he jumps back into the sewer super fast on either side of you. It's fucking dumb. The second one felt like I was fucking fighting Slash in TMNT 2. He's just sort of walking around me, hitting, doing his little animation where his second mouth comes out like it's a just ha ha, here's my taunt.
Taunt.
It's fucking dumb. So
Yeah.
and I couldn't beat the second one. My slide kick didn't work on the second one, so I died multiple times. And it's like, okay, that's it.
All about that mini nuke. Like, man, that one that would pop out of the water, like in the sewer. It's like, all right, motherfucker, I know how to handle you. While you're in the water, I'm going to charge this. Yeah, I'm going to die a couple times, but you fucking kill me a couple times otherwise, you know?
You, however, are going to die, and you don't get another life. It's like I always like getting the calls in Hades where you had a call from you could use Zeus's call or Poseidon's call.
Yeah.
And it would just unleash hell when that meter gets charged up. I like using those on bosses.
Yes.
Meg, fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
I nuked her with lightning, and it felt so good.
It's
to
so
watch
fun
her
to
health
take her
just go.
out.
I was like,
chunk,
wait,
chunk,
wait,
chunk,
but the
chunk,
first part of
chunk.
that sentence, are you doing an impression of me?
Oh, Megara.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't know how to do any of that stuff you're talking about. What were the alien skulls for?
Points.
Trophies.
Points.
Okay, see, again, all right, so my take on this whole game is that the game itself, I think, might have been better if it had had the movie to base the game on. Because then they could have put some things in. Because, like, I would have thought, if, let's say, the movie did exist in its form that we know, but this 10 years earlier, and this game had been based on it, I think what would have been neat would have been the alien skulls could have been used as a temporary shield,
Yeah.
because in the movie he hollows out one of their skulls for her to shield against the acid blood.
Right.
And I just thought that was maybe kind of where they were going with it, but nope. I just never could figure out what they were for.
No, they're just points.
Yeah.
And it's like, what stinks also is like back in the vein of being able to throw is a good thing, but they kind of fuck it up in the
Yeah.
execution. The weapons, I feel like, are another like thing where it's like, oh, great, but they fuck it up too, because it's like, if you pick up a weapon, you are stuck with that weapon until it runs out. So it's like, if you pick up a spear, you throw spears, and that's it. That's all you can do until they run
Right.
out. Like,
And there
you
could be weapons littering the floor,
You
but you
can't
can't
pick 'em
pick them
up.
up unless you get rid of
Or
the spear.
health or anything.
no, right, exactly.
Yeah,
No
that's it.
health, no alien
I throw
skulls
all
for
my
points.
spears
Yep.
until I'm out to pick up some health.
Right, and it's like that seems like a oversight.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb.
Alien versus Predator, more like Predator versus aliens. Am I right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, God, yeah. So many. This game, I didn't hate it. Like, it's by far not at all the worst, but it's just not fun.
There's no
it
two-player?
wasn't. No 2-player.
That's always a
which is
downside in a
Yeah.
beat 'em up.
Big downside in a beat 'em
Because
up.
this would, I feel like, be a lot more fun if you could both play as Predators. Or like the way it works in the Capcom game is there are a bunch of different characters you can choose from,
Yep.
and some are Predators and some are Marines, Space Marines, and it's like it's also not limited to 3. So it's like you can choose different characters. This is pretty much you are playing a Predator by yourself, and that's all you're going to be able. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
No other options. No replayability here.
There was a game that came out in the old Apex days that me and Bob played for a little while, Alien vs. Predator, and it was a first-person shooter, but it was like one of you were either an alien, a predator, or a space marine. And
Yes. Oh, dude, I vaguely remember this.
you could be. It was you versus someone else. And then I guess in some cases you could play multiplayer. But Bob and I always played just the two of us.
Yeah.
And whenever he would play Predator, he you could go invisible, and he would do this to me every time. He would go invisible, and then he would stand right behind me and then make that clicking noise that the Predators do. It would scare the absolute shit out of me. And then he would stab me through the chest and I would die. But that was a fun game. It didn't last long. It was glitchy, and I don't think it ever got like a really good following. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This was not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't love this game, but I kind of liked it, and it's just by the nature of what it is. I just like this genre. I don't think it's a good game. It's not a game I would really recommend, but I have played worse beat 'em ups, and I have played worse beat 'em ups on the Super Nintendo. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird spot for me.
So we know that I don't, and I'm sure this has been said, I just don't remember. I don't like beat 'em ups.
Right.
Tyler doesn't like driving games.
Right.
What's your big dislike? Do you have a genre that you...
Puzzle games.
Is it puzzles? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. I couldn't remember.
But I mean, I say that, but there are puzzle games that I like.
Well, there's beat 'em ups that I like.
But yeah, just
as
generally,
generally,
it's kinda like,
yeah.
And there's a racing game that I like.
Cruising.
Yeah, well, I guess there are two. There are two racing games I like: F-Zero and Rock and Roll Racing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like the overhead, like isometric racing games. I feel like those are like a different beast. You know.
You should stream Rock and Roll Racing sometime.
Oh shit! I
Won't
would.
let-
I
they
would.
won't
It's
let
been a
you.
minute.
Like, you can't play the music. That's that one that they don't let you. You can't play that. They'll ban you because of the music that's in the game.
Forgot about that. Well, while we were discussing the game, I wondered, like, what did this get on Rotten Tomatoes? What did the movie get? So then it led me to the rabbit hole. Whenever I'm doing the show notes, I always tag movie games. So it's cursory search. Out of all the movie games, what are the Rotten Tomato scores? What's the best movie game that we've played? What's the best movie for the games we've played, and what's the worst?
Give me the list. Like all the movie games we've ever played.
Cursory search, we've done 15 movie games, spanning from single-digit scores all the way to a perfect 100.
Perfect 100.
One of the games.
One of the
that
games
we've
got a
covered,
perfect
A perfect
100.
100.
like the movie that the game
the
is
movie
based
got a perfect
on.
100, yes.
Well, I'd need the list to pick from as well.
So Demolition Man, Cliffhanger, Judge Dredd, Last Action Hero, RoboCop 3,
That's the 100.
True Lies, Waterworld, The Addams Family, Mean Girls, Little Nicky, Jurassic Park 2, and No Escape. Oh, and The Terminator and Terminator 2.
We did Alien 3.
And Alien 3.
So, do we try to guess the order in which they were rated, or we're trying to guess what their score was?
You're trying to get what? Yeah. What do you think? What do you think is the worst, and what do you think is the best out of that list? Then we can fill in the gaps.
My guess for the best is True Lies.
True Lies is the 11th ranked game on that list.
Movie.
Movie, yeah, I'm sorry, movie. The 11th ranked, 11 out of 15. True Lies at 42% on Rotten Tomatoes.
My guess for top is Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 is number 2 with 91%.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls is number 3 with 84%.
Terminator?
The Terminator is number 1 with 100% on Rotten
I was
Tomatoes.
torn between saying 1 or 2 for top. Wow, 100 though.
Yep.
That's fresh.
Yeah, when I just checked it out, it was 100.
Okay, so now
So
we
the
got to guess the
worst.
lowest.
What do you think is the worst movie out of the list of games we've done?
Maybe Little Nicky. Little Nicky's my guess.
Little Nicky is 13 with 22%.
13 out of 15.
15.
I know I know that Alien versus Predator is low on the list. I think it's like a 27 or something.
Oh,
like
I didn't
that.
even put that one on here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, now it's all skewed because that definitely got 100.
I don't know why. It didn't pop up because we haven't published it yet, so it wasn't in my search.
That makes sense. All right. So what do you think?
It's kind of like anytime we do a draft and I can't think of the thing that we just talked about for 2 hours as one of my picks.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me.
Oh, okay. It is tied with two other movies.
It's tied with 2 others on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But we're trying to guess the lowest currently.
It is not the lowest.
But we're trying to guess.
Trying to guess the lowest.
Okay. Little Nicky is third lowest.
It's the only movie with a single-digit score.
RoboCop 3.
RoboCop 3,
we go.
9%.
Did you include Pixels?
Shit, I forgot about Pixels.
Patreon episode? Patreon.com/TADPOG.
Yeah, that's why that didn't pop up either. Let's see.
There's no way it's lower than 8%. I mean, dude, and I liked RoboCop 3.
I liked it fine. It was fine, but because it was so bad is why I liked it.
Yeah.
Pixels is down there. Pixels, add that to the list. It's second to last. Pixels is at 18%.
Dude,
Oh, damn.
Pixels is way worse than RoboCop 3.
I
like
agree.
It's way less enjoyable than RoboCop 3. The beauty of RoboCop 3, I feel like, is the older it gets, the better it's gonna be. You know, like I don't think Pixels has that going for it. I don't know.
Little Nicky, Judge Dredd, and Alien vs. Predator are all tied at 22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
22%. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Little Nicky was all right.
I didn't hate Little Nicky either.
It wouldn't be one where it's like Little Nicky was a good movie, but it was like, I don't know, it was fun. I watched it with Nicky. And
Yep.
I have a soft spot for Little Nicky.
Get in the flask. It's quotable.
I want to say that was one of the first episodes I did as I was like, I think it was the first one I did as a perma host.
I think you're right. For the Game Boy Color, Little Nicky.
Let's see. Great. So, yeah. Last, RoboCop 3. Then Judge Dredd, Little Nicky, Alien vs. Predator, 22. Last Action Hero at 40%. Then True Lies at 42.
What the fuck?
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Waterworld at 46.
I don't see how that True
Waterworld's
Lies
a better movie than True Lies.
got a lower score than fucking Waterworld. I love both those movies.
I know you do. But I think
True Lies is better.
True Lies is a super watchable movie.
It's a great movie. I love that movie.
And Alien 3 at 48%.
I didn't think Alien 3 was all that, honestly.
I don't think it
Neither was the
deserves
Super
to be
Nintendo
higher
game.
than
I feel
True
like that is one of
Lies.
the more undeserved placeholders on that list.
Fucking Waterworld was better than Alien 3, in my opinion.
I would need to rewatch Alien 3.
I liked Alien 3 fine,
been
but
a
I liked
minute.
Waterworld better.
Jurassic Park 2 at 54%.
Yeah.
No Escape at 57%. Demolition Man at 62%. The Addams Family at 67%. Cliffhanger at 68%.
I'm surprised. Whoa, wait a minute.
No.
Addams Family has a lower rating
Score than Cliffhanger.
than Cliffhanger? Which,
No.
look, I like Cliffhanger.
I love Cliffhanger. I love that
He
movie.
stabs a dude with the stalactite. It's fucking still sticks with me.
John Lithgow crushed by a helicopter. I mean,
It's great.
it's a great movie.
It's great. But
Adam's family should have been the one to get the perfect score as far as I'm fucking concerned.
I would
That's
think that
great.
was in the 90s, honestly. I really would
Mean
guessed
Girl
it was in the
84,
90s.
T2 91, T1 100.
That list is bullshit.
It's pretty wild.
Just shows how relevant Rotten Tomatoes is, in my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are all audience scores, not critic scores.
Can't
So that'd
please
be a
everybody.
fun little
That is
departure.
good. That was a good list. Got me fired up. I don't have a whole lot more to say about this game.
We got any achievements?
I got a couple.
Same.
Go for it.
Mine are weak and not funny, so they definitely belong here. My first achievement is simply called birth control. And to get birth control, you dodge the horde of sperm-like aliens that bombard you in the middle part of the game. There's one room where like these little aliens that look like sperm just fly at you, and all you can really do is slide to get to not die.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's because I died a few times. Like,
Yeah.
if I remembered the slide, I could kill him.
Yeah. Because they're the one thing in the game that you can one-shot. That and the face huggers, you can one-shot them. But, so yeah. And then the second one is probably my laziest achievement ever. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Nice.
Beat the game.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's what I got.
It's a good wrap up. Achievement.
I've got a couple. First of which is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. In order to
Good
unlock
movie.
Tucker and Dale, I agree. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Play a ROM hack version of the game where 2-player is an option. Next achievement is Freddy versus Jason. In order to unlock Freddy versus Jason, press XXXXXYBBABAB to activate one-hit kill mode.
Oh,
You can kill aliens like Jason or Freddy would kill people.
I wish I had known that. I would have done it so I could have gotten through the whole thing on my own.
It had a few. It had a stage select. It had an invincibility mode. It had a no enemies in the stage cheat. I guess if you just want to walk for a bit.
Yeah.
Next achievement is Kramer versus Kramer. In order to unlock Kramer versus Kramer, have a fight with your significant other over Alien versus Predator.
I had two. First one, punch, kick. It's all in the slide, 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 slide. Beat a level exclusively using the slide mechanic.
Did you unlock
I
that?
unlocked that.
Oh God, it took forever, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a timer in the game.
Nope,
yeah,
there's
stupid
not.
So they're happy to
Forever.
let you do that.
Yep. The second one is Bat Left Master, because I call all alien weapons Bat Lefts. Kill 20 aliens with those spears.
Okay. Question. Are you an alien guy or are you a predator guy? If you had to choose one.
Predator.
I'd assume based on everything you'd said. So that checks out for me. What about you?
Alien.
I'm alien as well. And so follow up.
Just the new Yetis versus Dark Souls.
Right, yeah, right. Yeah, Discord. Are you an alien person or a predator person? So my follow-up question to that is, which of the two, alien or predator, which one is more evil?
I don't think either are evil.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say at least aliens are neutral. They're just
animals.
Right.
And predators I don't see as evil. I see
Well, I
that-
mean, they are harvesting and breeding humans just to make their hunts.
I suppose.
See, because that's my thing, is I feel like, especially after watching Alien versus Predator, it gave me weird perspective.
I don't think they're evil. I think they're indifferent. Now, but I do agree that is wrong, and that the fact that they're indifferent about how they treat other species.
And we do the same
Well,
thing.
I was about
it
to
would-
say that makes us
Yeah,
evil.
it would classify
Which, I mean-
them as evil in
Which,
the strictest definition of the word. But and again, it's not necessarily an excuse, but it's their culture.
Right.
It's what they've always done. They've never done it any differently. And frankly, I think in a lot of ways,
Heritage, not hate. It's all about our culture.
and I'm done. I was going to speak until someone said that, and now I'm done.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Yeah, to me, it's the level of intelligence where it's like, man, I
Yeah.
feel like at some point maybe the predators would be like, "Yo, should we be doing this?
They have killed a lot of us.
We have fucked some planets up.
For glory.
We almost killed Arnold Schwarzenegger."
I mean, they're like Klingons, honestly.
Yeah.
You could think of the Klingons as evil because of some of the shit they do, but they are what they are, and they're really quite honorable, culture-rich people.
They're barbarians.
They just
right?
got a different idea about the way things should be than
Right.
we do.
Right.
So I don't know if that makes them evil or not. But if we want to, if we're talking strictly from a human perspective, from an intelligence standpoint, yeah, they would be considered evil.
I think the aliens are scarier though.
The aliens are.
And
I don't know, dude, because God, that one is the tougher choice for me to make. Is which one is scarier?
I feel like we have evidence that a predator can be reasoned with.
Agreed.
And
100%. That is the correct answer. That they can, under the right circumstances, a predator can be reasoned.
The rare
with.
circumstance.
A rare
right?
circumstance. But it could happen.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. Alien, no.
No.
None.
Right.
You don't keep them as pets. You don't domesticate them.
Right.
They are the perfect hunting and killing machine. Now, I would like to see what would happen if an alien
Versus RoboCop.
No. Sharknado. Alien versus Sharknado. I want to see how the alien would fare in an actual Sharknado. Because apparently, sharks are our planet's perfect hunter-killers. I want to see the aliens versus but not just one shark. Maybe the Meg. Alien versus the Meg.
Yeah, I think they just fucked the Meg up from inside.
You with all the acid blood,
Yeah.
rip its own hand
D&D
off.
dragon fighting logic.
Yeah.
Get inside of it.
Get inside of it. Yeah. But I'd watch it as like a YouTube video,
Well, thanks for clarifying that.
or
That you wouldn't pay money for it.
No, I'm not saying that. It's just I don't want to see it in a 2-hour format. I just want to see.
No.
I don't want okay, there's plot. Okay, I know. Get to the fight. I don't want.
The same computer generated thing that's like 5 Gokus versus 1 million ostriches. That sort of thing.
Give me 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. I'll pay you to not write a script. Just show me the
Give me the fight.
Uh-huh.
I do that on TikTok a lot. I get halfway through, maybe even a third of the way through a video, and I realize what they're doing, which is just dragging it out as fucking long as possible. I actively not interested.
Block.
Dislike. Fuck you. Is there a fuck you button? Because I want the fuck you button on TikTok. Fuck you for wasting my time.
Man, I get.
It's the report button because they'll just
God,
get
I
banned
hate
for
it.
a few days.
I hate it so much. You've got my interest, and then I watch another full minute, and you've said nothing new. You still haven't gotten to the point, and the ones that really piss me off are the ones that get to the point almost, and then the video stops, and you'd have to go watch the next part of the video, like go into their profile and watch part 2, and then half the time there's a part 3, a part 4, a part 12, a part 30.
Yeah.
All you had to do was show me the money.
But then they don't get the views.
Well, what the fuck do I care?
Right.
I could give a shit. What you've done is piss me off and made me block you. So now,
If only there were
you've
more
got
people
one
like
less
you.
possible
Right.
viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to do more. People need to be like that.
Needs to be a
encourage,
campaign.
get to the fucking point. It's TikTok, for Christ's sake. The fact that you can earn the right to go longer in your videos, the more views you get.
Oh, is that a thing now? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, I was.
It's called format, people.
There's funny stuff on TikTok.
There's great stuff on TikTok.
And I watch a lot of stuff that's shared to me via TikTok. But man, almost every time I get on there, like today, I got irritated because it's like, hey, dog, can we look in your contacts and see if they're on TikTok? No. No. Hey, how
For
about
the 100th time, no.
can we have your email address? Well, you have that already, so I don't know why you're asking for that again. But no. Hey, can we sync all your friends from? No. No. I'm here to watch videos.
I don't trust you. I just want to see things that are fucking amusing or entertaining to me. I don't
Yeah.
trust you.
I don't want to make friends on TikTok.
No. I have my TikTok locked. You cannot friend me on TikTok. I have it walled off so where I can't, no contacts, no friends. If someone shares something, I will watch it. And they're like, "Hey,
So I'm grandfathered.
do you want to friend Tyler Holland? You're not on. You're not
Oh,
on
you
my
have a
friends
different
list."
one? Okay.
Dude, every time I watch a video that's sent by somebody, they're like, "Do you want to friend this person?" No, God, no. I mean, we're friends. They know we're friends.
I don't want to be friended. I don't want that. I'm here for for just whatever I happen to see.
Yeah.
You've already fucked with my algorithm 7 times this week. You know, you were showing me shit I really liked there for a real long time. I didn't stop watching it. In fact, I watched more. But then you just decided all of a sudden, he's had enough of that. We'll show him some other shit. See if he likes this stuff. No, I want the other stuff. That's what I was looking at. That's why I stayed in TikTok, because you were showing me things I wanted to see and not guessing to see if I might like that.
YouTube Shorts, I feel like, is on the other end of that spectrum for me, at least, because it's like, I feel like I don't know what that algorithm is like, but it is granular. Because, I mean, it is like, okay, cool. He likes this. And it's just nothing but because I'm like
you got to actively find
watch
something
other
else.
shit.
You've got
Yeah.
to search out something else to break the,
yeah.
That's the extreme in the other direction for
Yeah.
sure.
And I mean, in their defense, a lot of times it works because it is but then I don't know. The example is using YouTube. I like to use YouTube for a lot of different things, but it's great for tutorials and
Yes.
how to do a thing.
Yes.
And it's so I will.
It's a great tool.
Yes. Also, I'll search how to do a particular exercise or something, and then it's I'll watch a video, and then they'll start suggesting more, and then it loops back around, and it's they want to show me a video where it's yo, that last video you watched was bullshit. Here's the truth. And it's what the fuck? So now it's just this never ending cycle of no, that wasn't right. This is right. No, that wasn't right. The original guy was right, but this was wrong.
Information overload.
Yeah.
Because I got see if I could find it just to read how fucking weird it is. My YouTube 2023 mix of all my most played things. It's pretty fucking weird.
Are you the only one who uses that account, or
No.
is it shared? Okay.
Jack also
Okay.
uses it.
Gotcha.
So that's all it's,
Gotcha.
'cause it's a lot of the weird stuff I'll play in the shower, and then
That's the title of the
Baby
video.
Einstein. I don't see. I'd read it off, but I can't find it now. Damn it. Oh well.
My Reddit Wrapped is hilarious because they do not include NSFW subreddits. So it is memes.
Do we want to see what Flopsy has to say about Alien vs. Predator real
Yeah,
quick?
you bet. You guys have any guesses as to what Flopsy rated Alien versus Predator and what commonality it might be?
2.5 stars. Common.
2.5 common from Ian. What do you think, Tyler?
2 stars uncommon.
2 stars uncommon. This came out before the Capcom video game. I feel like if it came out after, they might have produced more in hopes where it's maybe they'll think it's a port of the arcade game. I think uncommon. I'm gonna go 3 stars. I'm gonna go 3 stars uncommon.
Could be.
I don't think it's warranted. I think this is a pretty middling game, but it's Flopsy.
Flopsy
after
skews
all.
high.
According to Flopsy, a.k.a. the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998 by Pot Cantry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a mysterious shadowy benefactor. Alien versus Predator, 2 stars,
All right.
uncommon.
Hey.
Whoa, Tyler got it in
2
one.
stars, uncommon. Well done. I feel like that's pretty fair.
I agree.
Yeah.
How much do you think this game is if you were to buy it? Loose.
It's a bad game, but it's also uncommon. $21.
$21 from Ian.
$27.50.
$27.50 from Tyler. The price of Alien vs. Predator for the Super Nintendo, loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $32.56.
Damn.
Those were very respectable estimates from both of
We
you.
were in the neighborhood.
Yes, for sure. It has to be because a lot of it has to be because it's uncommon, and also because it's 2 movie franchises.
Right.
Like it has to have a lot to do with it. Is it worth
Yeah.
it?
No.
Yeah, it's not. I would consider buying it as
At this price?
yeah.
Okay.
As a collector and a fan of the genre,
Sure.
it's kind of one of those where it's like it's not worth it, but it would be nice to have in the collection.
Yeah.
Just because it kind of fills a lot of slots, you know.
If you could get it in, like, say, Cliffhanger and Judge Dredd for a bundle
As a bundle.
for $35.
Oh, that's a deal.
That's a deal.
Yeah, for real. Totally. Whew. Yeah, I got to get all those. I got to get all those Stallone games. Man. I got to get the trilogy stuff.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if we talked last week briefly about kind of going off the beaten path a little bit and doing an NES game,
Right.
NES movie game that is very weird that it's on there, which is Dirty Harry for the NES.
I'm on
Do
board.
we want to do that?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
I've never
Let's
seen
do it.
Dirty Harry, so I'll
So
watch
there's
it.
there's several Dirty Harry movies. Mm-hmm. So we'd have to figure out which one to watch.
Yeah, it looks like it's based on, according to Wikipedia,
Okay.
because I've never played it. It's a 1990 video game based on the Dirty Harry film franchise.
Holy fuck.
So I
There's
don't
like
know what
4.
movies
There's like
it
4 or
covers.
maybe 5 Dirty Harry movies if I had to figure.
Well, whatever. I'd say we base it on the line he says at the beginning of the movie or the beginning of the game, because he says something. He says one.
Does
of
he say,
his
"Do you
lines.
feel lucky, punk"?
I read a short synopsis of the story, and it mentions a drug smuggling operation that goes by the name of Anaconda. So I don't know if that is limited to one Dirty Harry movie or not, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll
Sounds
figure it
pretty
out.
good. Anything else? Any other comments, commentary, reviews?
Where would you rank Alien vs. Predator?
Top 100, bottom 100.
Top 100, bottom 100?
Low, middle.
Same. Yeah, that was my answer as well.
I'd put it in the, for me personally, I put it in the low 200s, high 300s. And it's, again, it's not a good beat 'em up, but it is a beat 'em up, and I've got a real, I don't know, soft spot
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
genre. I'd like, even if they're bad sometimes, it's like, oh, okay. I was relieved.
I could be argued to that point for this game because
But-
it's not bad. It's just kind of boring and off lore a lot.
Yeah.
So
There are dozens of other beat 'em ups
Oh
I'd
my God.
recommend over this one. So, buy, rent, birthday.
rent, it'd been fine as a rental, but it's not 2 players. That would have hurt the rental value a lot.
I would go rent as well because I feel like even though it takes a long time to get through, like I beat it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
it's like, ugh, and all you can really do is like increase the difficulty on a hidden options screen. Did you know you can press select? And it brings up an option screen at the
Nope.
title screen.
Nope.
It doesn't say like start options. It's just you hit select. Nothing says hit select. You just hit select and you be like, I want 6 lives, 3 continues.
Like the Predator, it is invisible.
It's lore accurate.
If you turn
Most
your
more accurate thing about the game.
if you turn your TV at just the right angle, you can catch the shape of options.
I know we're jumping around a bit.
Yeah,
But when you were talking about the cloaking in the game, Ian,
Yeah.
and like wishing that you could like progress stealth wise through the game, I love that idea. I also wish that when you cloaked, you got the predator vision so that you could like
yeah, you could
see yourself. Right.
Oh,
because
that would be
otherwise
good.
you're invisible.
It's
It's like being
hard.
invisible in Smash Brothers.
It's hard
Yeah.
to see yourself, and it's like
Yeah.
you get no real advantage because
Right.
it's hard to tell where you're at.
Yeah, you have to like move in front of an enemy in order to see yourself. So it's like, and by then they're like, oh, he's there.
Yeah. And then it wears off.
Right. Okay.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, all over the goddamn place. All sorts of stuff, but really importantly, we got that Patreon to talk about.
Okay. I'm going to read some names.
Okay.
And when I'm finished reading the list of names, I want you guys to see if you can guess why I read their names.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yes.
All right. Plinko, Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Louisville correspondent, Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage, Pinball Airplane, Archmage, Chris Edler, sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Sandwich Pope, Phil Hawkins, Drink Smith, Joey Webster, and Derek Pope Sandwich. Now, what do you think, guys, do these some odd 10, 15 some odd names have in common?
They all came to my glory hole.
Okay.
Phil for sure. But yeah, pretty sure all of them.
He came as Phil and he left filled.
Oh, came as Phil, left full.
They all got a 90 or higher on Rotten Tomatoes.
They probably would. All of these people probably would. But no, sadly, neither one of you are correct. It turns out the names I just read are our executive producers, and they got that
Well,
title
not Phil anymore. He
by
didn't like that joke.
donating. Yeah, not that one. They got that title by donating $20 or more to our Patreon, patreon.com/tadpog, or pisstasters.com.
Taste the piss.
Which is where you can go to donate money to the show if you'd like to support us. For as little as $1, you could have access to all the bonus content we have and anything we add in the future. And then for $20 or more, you get your name on that sweet list of executive producers. So thanks to all of our donors.
Yep. This was worth $1. Come on.
Yeah,
You know
come
it.
Just
I mean,
a buck. Just a
I hope
buck.
Harold Arthur has to ask Phil, what's a glory hole and why did you go to Tyler's?
We can truly say,
we know why you went.
yeah, we know. We can truly say, like they used to say, and we'd be right, that it's less than $1, for less than a cost of a cup of coffee, I should say, one lousy dollar, you could be supporting the show.
Yep.
And again, it's very appreciated. So thank you for all that. And then, of course, as always, thanks to Dane.
Yep.
Our backlog manager, Mr. Puzzles, for putting our show up on YouTube every week.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Is it less than a cup of
Thank you,
coffee
Si.
anymore?
Yeah.
That's what
$1?
I'm saying. Like, coffee's so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
expensive.
It's like way less.
$1 is
Right?
less than a cup of coffee.
Oh, it's still less than okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We truly are less than a cup of coffee.
Less than a cheeseburger at McDonald's.
Yep.
What's the cheapest cheeseburger at McDonald's now?
I think the regular cheeseburger is like $1.50 or some shit.
Yeah, I remember when those were 59 cents. Not anymore.
Man, I got some knowledge dropped on me at Thanksgiving from Nikki and my mom. Like, they were talking about how much like shit is, and I realized that like I would not win on The Price is Right anymore, because like they would laugh at me on this like the stage if they're like, all right, because they were talking about cereal, and it was like,
Oh God, it's like $4.50 a box.
yeah, and it's like I'd be on The Price is like $1.30. And I literally
you
think
poor,
that Drew Carey
poor
would laugh.
ignorant fool. And-
$50?
Oh, we were talking about that. The banana. How much is the banana?
How much can it be, Michael?
Yeah. Shit, did I mess you up with my family? Did I like recording? Did I mess recording up with Thanksgiving dinner? No wonder I don't like the TikTok. I'm senile.
We got to keep gaslighting Dave into thinking we had that conversation with you because you know we won't go back and listen to the show to prove it.
Nope.
You're goddamn right.
So
I won't.
we'll just keep fucking with him.
Is that all we got?
That's it.
Well, our theme song is Moves. Let's take more drive. We'll do that track for the show notes at tadpog.com. How you guys want to close it out? like an alien attacking somebody.
Yeah.
So until next time.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/tadpogdiscord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We'd really appreciate it.
Captains. That's a pretty good one too.
Captains. I feel like we like do like a little tiny bit, because I feel like maybe two episodes ago you were like Captain Ron.
Yeah.
How did that start?
I think they were just talking about Kurt Russell's body
You're right.
work.
Yep, that was it. That was it.
I thought maybe we were saying favorite captains because I do remember Captain Crunch, but that could have been the cereal draft.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have had to have been.
And Captain Caveman, that was the cartoon draft. And Captain Planet, also the cartoon draft.
We have a lot of things that
Captain
are favorite
America,
captains.
the Marvel Heroes draft.
Because it was a TikTok where it was two people knew what they were drafting, the other guy had no idea. So he was trying to guess the topic off what they were drafting. And they were drafting.
pretty good.
It was pretty good. And they were drafting captains. Then the guy was like, "What the fuck?" Because he said like America, and the guy said kangaroo. It's like, what the fuck? Kirk, planet, Hook, caveman.
That is really good.
So lightning draft, Bears.
Sure.
What, 6, Dave?
Mike Ditka.
Nice.
My turn?
Yep.
Shardik.
There you go.
William the Refrigerator Perry. There you go, Dennis.
Do you think they ever made a teddy bear out of him called William the Refrigerator Barry?
I hope so.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh.
Smokey the.
Theodore Roosevelt.
The porn star in the meme, the black porn star, where he's sitting on the bed with his big dick hanging over.
Woody.
Don't know.
Something
but
like
he's
that.
a bear, right?
Yep.
He was a gay porn actor, right? Presumably.
Makes sense.
Bear.
Makes sense.
Winnie the Pooh.
Me.
Oh. That's
Is that
three.
it? That's
That's
3?
three.
All right. Bear draft.
Am I the only one that picked actual bears?
Teddy Ruxpin's a bear.
Oh, Teddy Ruxpin.
Just because you can play tapes in him doesn't mean he's not a bear, Ian.
Well, Winnie the Pooh's not an actual fucking bear either, but I thought I was the only one that actually picked bears. And Tyler, you didn't pick one bear.
No cocaine bear.
Cocaine.
Oh.
Honorable mention. Cocaine bear. Little bear.
Little bear. Yogi.
Paddington.
Boo Boo. Paddington.
Yeah.
Believe it!